Sheree Oliver. She is a grade 2 teacher. This is your second year in teaching. Yep. And how many kids do you have in your class?
23.
23. And what sort of technology do you have in your class?
So we have 4 desktop computers, and I've got a data projector that I actually have to wheel out.
So no smartboard?
Not yet, no.
Okay. And does that is that obviously like a huge downfall? Is it hard not?
It's hard not having an interactive whiteboard, so I've made up with it by getting a wireless mouse, but we don't have the same, can't do the same things as the other classes do with their interactive whiteboards, and C2C, most of their resources are for interactive and learning objects, so I've got to be very careful to kind of find other ones.
Yeah, okay, but the kids like to use the mouse to interact and stuff, because I feel like they're getting involved.
They're doing something, yep.
Yeah, cool. And you go to the computer lab? How often do you go there?
So we go to the computer lab once every fortnight.
Yep. Okay, and what do you do in the computer lab?
So because teaching grade 2, you only teach them the basics, so we do a little bit of PowerPoint, a bit of Word document, adding pictures, changing font, changing size.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do mathletics or targeting maths.
Yep, cool.
Subjects.
And how are the kids on the computers? Like, can they, you were saying before that they can only type a couple of sentences and that takes forever.
So very slow, some of them very slow at typing. When it comes to games, they're experts. They can play them better than I can. But actually knowing where to type in the web addresses and even just changing fonts is very difficult for them at times.
Yeah. So do most of them have computers at home and the internet?
In my classroom they will do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. What else do we talk about? I'll edit this. How should I get onto that? I'll start with like class blog. Okay. So you said that some people use class blogs as a way of like communicating and stuff.
So I've seen a website, and then we were talking about it in a PD once, how some classrooms have a class blog where they can put pictures of what the students are doing, keep the parents updated so they can use it as like a so parents can be involved.
Yep.
You could, if you wanted to get the students involved, have it where they could make their own posts. So you could put questions up and have them post answers to the questions. It could be anonymous because they could have their own username, and the only person that knows who they are is the teacher, and that gives them a bit more confidence and they use their voice a bit more in the questions.
Yep, definitely. And it'd be good for homework as well, wouldn't it? So kids could go home and blog stuff.
So you could do anything about maths investigations or topics, so what they thought. So we're doing character profiles at the moment. What did you think of the character?
Yep.
That kind of thing. Then other students could see what other students are writing, and that could help them to either give their own opinions or help them with their actual writing tasks.
Yeah, and that would help you as well, being able to, because you could view all of that, and that you could keep track of.
And know who's writing, but it will also help me know who's understanding and what sort of things they're understanding about character profiles if we're doing that.
Yeah.
Other example.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Okay. So would you what would you consider using in your classroom, like a social networking thing, with a grade 2 class? So you said before that Facebook and Twitter aren't really appropriate.
Well, considering Facebook and Twitter, you have to be 16 apparently to sign up to. So you can't actually, there are websites I've heard of, don't know what they're called, but they're for like little kids in particular, but parents are involved of who actually becomes friends with them. But in saying that, you've still got, like, if you're on the computer in class time and you're getting students to interact with each other, there's still those if one of their other friends happens to be on, there's still that outside disruption.
Yeah.
So other people can talk to them or interact with them as well, and I couldn't monitor that.
Okay. Yeah.
So a class blog, at least you could, obviously someone could stumble across your blog Googling it, but generally the people who know about it are the ones you've given the web address to.
Yes.
And so you could monitor with how many outside people are generally getting onto that blog and having a say.
Yeah. So the older grades would obviously, it'll be easier because they have better understanding of how social networks work. So yeah, and they're far quicker with it and things like that. iPads, would that help having a class set of iPads in terms of class blogging and maybe reflecting at the end of each lesson and things like that?
If you had a class set of iPads, you could use where you could actually model it, and they could be making their own class blogs to, as you said, like reflect on each lesson or as a daily thing or a weekly thing.
Yes.
It'll help with their typing because their hands are little enough to use a little
Yeah.
keyboard on an iPad. And you can then be modelling it at the same time as they're using it. So because they've got their own set, like in a computer room, their back is to you because of how the computer room's set out. They have to be turning around constantly and then turning back to their computer.
Yeah.
Whereas if they have a little iPad in front of them, they're still watching the board and they can do everything you're doing at the same time.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, definitely. And do you think the kids would be more engaged if they, by using like a class blog, and they find it interesting, or like they're putting input into?
Well, because they've got ownership, like if it's their blog or their class blog, they've got the ownership of it. They feel proud of what they're doing and want to be putting pictures on. And especially at this age group, they're very into learning and very wanting to learn and be part of everything. So for a younger grade blog, it would probably be good if they could use it. So even if you did something as a whole class, and then like updated it as a whole class and putting pictures and things, so they have an input of what goes on there, and you try to do it. Just keep parents informed, and then they can go home and comment and things on them. Then
and it would be student driven as well. It wouldn't be sort of teacher focused.
So they could be what we're learning in class or what we did, or say like the hat parade, like we had Mr. Hat Parade. You could put pictures of that if the students are allowed their pictures up on there, or anything else that we're doing in class.
Yeah, definitely. So you could use it for every subject that you cover. Cool. Right, was that it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, thank you, Cherie, for that, and talk to you later.
Thanks.